You know, what we wear really says a lot about who we are. That's important because people see you and they not only see your face, but they see what you're wearing. And that also registers in people's minds and they judge accordingly. We all do. So what about bands who wear secular t-shirts of other bands who are definitely not Christian? Should we be wearing those shirts or even listening to the music? And that's a big deal because it is something that a lot of people do. Want to talk about it next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. Welcome once again to my home. Standing on my deck outside of my home today, and it's a beautiful day, really beautiful day, and it's getting a little more brisk now. I love this temperature. Fall is my favorite time, and before too long, the leaves will be gone, a lot of them anyway, and the grass will turn from green to other colors. Sometimes it stays fairly green all year here in Tennessee. But it gets a little colder, and I love broadcasting outside. Let me know if you like that too. I like a little variety in my podcast, and when I did Pastor Bob Daily, I used to do most of it outside, and so I'll do that again. And if you watch in the background here, you'll probably see some deer walking across. This is the time of the day when a lot of the deer are out here. Have a lot of babies out, so this season there's a lot of little fawns that are so cute running around, and you may see some today as I'm talking. But anyway, the question is this: secular band shirts. What do you do with those? And he says, why do some Christian metal bands wear t-shirts of their secular counterparts? Some say that this is a blatant contradiction. Shouldn't Christian bands support each other by wearing t-shirts of other fellow Christian bands? Not only this, but several Christian bands listen to massive amounts of secular music. Many Christian metal bands listen to bands such as Slayer and Cannibal Corpse and Pantera and Obituary. None of these bands contain Christian lyrics or even positive lyrics at all. So why should we listen to these kinds of bands as believers, especially as a Christian artist? Great question. And I ask the same question many times. You know, why do people listen? And sometimes when I'm working with the band, and sometimes even introducing bands at a concert, or speaking at festivals or whatever it might be, and the band gets up on stage at a Christian festival and they have a t-shirt on with the band that actually absolutely is opposed to Christianity, and I'm thinking, what are you thinking? Why would you wear that, especially now? But folks, these are judgment calls that are really miscalls. Really, it is never appropriate. It just isn't. And folks, the Bible tells us to fight the good fight of faith. Why? Because it is a fight. And you don't embrace the people or the ideologies that you're fighting against. You fight them instead. Isn't that the important thing? And wearing those shirts, wearing those things that support another ideology, when you're trying to bring Christianity, really says a lot about the band themselves. So I guess it goes back to a subject that we've talked about a lot here, and that is, can Christian people listen to secular music? And of course you can. Should Christian people listen to secular music? Well, that's a toss-up. It depends on what the message is. I've always had a rule for my life. My music is not all Christian. There's some bands that I love that aren't necessarily Christian, but the lyrics don't contradict my Christian lifestyle. Some of them talk about love. Some of them talk just about life. And some are really positive lyrics, not necessarily Christian lyrics, because my life is a little bigger than all of that. But folks, that's important for me, because the closer I get to Jesus Christ, the less I want to sing about something that's contrary. It hurts my spirit because it isn't who I am. And I don't want those things, those lyrics, those ideologies to come out of my mouth because they're not consistent with my heart and not consistent with my relationship with Jesus Christ. And especially wearing a t-shirt that espouses those ideologies, there's no way I would do that. And I hope you wouldn't either, because it's not what we're here to do. Folks, when you've been saved, when Jesus Christ has rescued you, you have one goal still on earth here, and that is to glorify God. And part of glorifying God is to bring as many people home with you as you possibly can. So how you are perceived, the message that you bring to people by the person that you are, the words you say, and even the clothes you wear, says a lot about Jesus Christ, because you may be the only person that they'll ever see that represents him. And you've got to do a good job of that. That needs to be in your heart. It needs to be one of the things you hunger for, is for salvation of the people around you. And remember, you're an ambassador. People see you and you're an ambassador. So I think it's an important thing. And will you go to heaven if you wear a secular t-shirt of a band that is opposed to God? Well, if you're saved, yes. Because again, we're not judged with our sin once we've received Jesus Christ as our Savior. He saved us. Nothing we did, it's everything that he did. But folks, again, what is your goal here? And it ought to be to bring as many people home with you when we go as you can. Folks, don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.